I got into social media about 2 years ago. I went to a similar event that was done by Anne Hawkins, and she taught me everything. I've been completely self-taught, so hopefully I won't use any garble that's going to baffle any of us. We'll start by going into Facebook. I've been a Facebook user forever, and I've been addicted for it for just as long. I can only see this in a social way. I don't use it as a work account at all. All of my friends on it, purely because I go out and I sometimes have a few drinks, and I enjoy myself, and I don't want clients to see me acting that way. So if you do want to have an account for Rotary, Rotaract, or for a business purpose, try and set up a new one under your business name, just purely so you can have on it what you want. So you've got to remember it's not only what you put on it, it's what your friends put on about you as well. You can load up events on Facebook as well. This is really, really simple. When you set up your Facebook account, which is really easy, go onto facebook.com, start account, put all your details in, and then put a photo on of yourself. And then you go on the left-hand side, there's create event. You put in the event title, the event date, the event location, and details about the event. When you've saved it, you straight away got a link that you can use anywhere else. So if you send an email, you can put that link into the email, and that'll put the full details into the email, so everybody knows what the event is. If it's a private event, for example, you're having a party at your house and you want 30 people to come, then you do it by invite only, that's on a drop-down box. If it's for an event where you're raising money for charity, then you need to do it as a public event, and therefore anyone that you invite can invite their friends as well. So for example, if you've got 200 friends, and you invite those 200 as open, they can then invite their 200 friends. And before you know it, you've got a huge event, and you raise lots and lots of money. Like I said, Facebook I use as social. It's very, very, very good for making friends. You can join different groups as well. If your club has not got a group club page, do start one. Reason being, if someone searches for your club on Facebook, they can join onto your group and see what events you've got coming up, and see who's joined of the club as well. Twitter is fantastic as well. A lot of it's in the press, but it is very, very good. Exactly the same as Facebook, you set up your own account. Now this one you only get a short space, I think it's 24 characters. So you need to use your name. Try not to use a company name, but use your name. Unless you're doing it as a group, that's the only time you sort of put the group name in. If you're using it for you personally, don't use a nickname, use your own name. And use your own photo as well. Now if you're supporting yourself as a Rotary member, try and have a photo of you with a Rotary logo in it. So you're joining them both together. People know that that's what you're doing, this is what you're talking about. Do remember that it's social media and not sales media. If you spend the whole time saying, I've got an event coming up, I've got an event coming up, I've got an event coming up, we've got this for sale, people won't be interested at all. You need to be really, really cautious that you're social with people. So for example, you can start by saying, this Friday I'm going to the event that you're organising. And then other people will start asking about it. Make sure you reply to everybody. There's also something called a retweet, which is an RT. This means that someone's either retweeted it, which is pretty much a copy and paste, or you'd like people to retweet it for you. So for example, if you've got an event this Friday, I've got an event this Friday, really like you to come along, please RT, which means you're asking everybody else to tell their friends about it. And on the Twitter itself, there's an RT logo, it's like an arrow that goes round in a square. If I hand out this Twitter page for you, hopefully it will make more sense. Right, this is my homepage. At the top left, you can see it says my name and a photo of me.
Another one.
And at the top left-hand side is me. You can down click onto the home, which is the one that's lit up in blue on the very top left corner. Next to that says connect, and that's with an @ symbol in front. Now connect means that will tell me everyone that's spoken to me during the day, or any time, the history of whoever's spoken to me. So that's how I automatically know who I need to talk to. And then the discover button, which is the hash, we'll talk about the hash later, but where it says discover, that's people you can discover that also do what you do. So for example, if you want to meet other Rotary people, you put in a discover and then put in Rotary, it will then bring up every other Rotary club that has a page, and there are hundreds. The reason there are hundreds is because the main people that use Twitter are between the age of 37 and 56, I think it is. It's quite a weird spectrum. But they are middle-aged to the older age, as opposed to younger people.
Bless you, Hazel.
So Twitter really is more Rotary than Rotaract completely. Also great for putting your events on, and you can put your links in from your Facebook event. You can then put that onto your Twitter as well. The more times you use that link, the higher up it will be on your Google search engine. So if, for example, you're doing a barn dance event, you put it onto Facebook, you've got the event there. You then use the link on Twitter 10 times. You tell 10 people about this barn dance. That then goes higher and higher up on the Google search. I want to go to a barn dance in Huntingdon. I go on Google, type in barn dance in Huntingdon, and your event is towards the top because you've tweeted about it, which is more and more likes and links that Google AdWords then picks up, and it's on your Google search engine.
Can you just go back on that, please?
Of course I can. The Google search engine is your Google page. So when you put in a search, that's where it is. Now, the more times things are looked at or spoken about, they put you higher up on the Google search. So if you start up a page on Facebook, you put your event on there. In a tweet, which is on the Twitter, you then say to someone, would you like to come to the barn dance? Here's the link. The more times you put that link on, the more times it will come up on Google, so the higher it will go if it's had more clicks. I know it is simple.
Yes, I know what you're saying.
Pero has it got the same danger as Facebook, the Twitter?
The danger in what aspect?
Well, people just jump in the wall.
Jumping on-
Somebody tagged my wall with a picture of a woman whom I never saw.
Right.
and that Jack tweeted, and everybody in the wall knows about it.
And your woman.
Yes and no. It's not your wall. It's people. Right. So you've got followers. So on Facebook you have friends, and on Twitter you have followers. And these people that can see everything you do. Now, if someone isn't following you, and you're not talking directly to them, which I'll go through, don't panic, then they won't see what's on your wall. Okay?
So that's on that one.
That's on Twitter. Okay? So yeah, it probably is a little bit safer. And the pictures don't come as pictures, they come as links. So you can also click into it. So you're not going to have any bad pictures on your wall. You're going to have links to them, and you can delete them the same way you can on Facebook. Okay?
So you can have private conversation.
Yes. Let's go through that actually. So if I want to talk to, let's look at the first person. Okay, I've spoken to JCI Cambridge today. They're a networking group for under 30s. So it says at JCI Cambridge. That means it only talks to that one person. I'm talking to them, but everyone that follows me and follows them can see it. Now if I want to talk to them privately, I can click on to JCI Cambridge and it will drop down direct message and I can direct message them. Alternatively, instead of the at, I can put DM and their name and that will go directly to them. Nobody else can see it. So like an email, for example.
Yeah.
Also, you can see underneath where it says JCI Cambridge, it says view conversation. That tells me everything that's gone on between me and them. That's just under the first tweet. It says Hazel Cottrell, underneath it says at JCI Cambridge. Underneath that is a speech bubble that says view conversation. And I can click on that and it will tell me everything.
Hang on, Hazel, we haven't found that bit. Sorry.
Oh, it's quite light.
Oh.
It's very light.
Yeah, sorry, there was some bad print.
Sorry. Okay.
No, I'm
don't
sorry.
apologise. We'll get there.
Top
you.
right hand corner
Yes.
in bright blue is like a little quill writing on a piece of paper. Top right hand corner. That is where I can write a new tweet. So like a new status on Facebook, for example. Now I can either, so if I leave it as blank, it will go to every single one of my followers. If I put at someone in front, it will only go to that person, and people following me and them can see it. Okay? There's also something called, it's a hash, which is the symbol we went through, which is the one that says next to discover, it's a hash symbol. But there's something called a hash FF, and that basically means follow Friday. And it's this trendy thing that goes on Twitter, and it's a way people use people that have spoken to them the most. I use it to say thank you to someone. So for example, if there's someone that you speak to the week and they've helped you, you can say hash FS Huntingdon Rotaract because of their presentation on Tuesday, for example. Something like that. It's a way of thanking someone, and and telling other people that were very helpful, you should follow them as well.
So you're thanking someone and you're saying
That other people should
that other people should follow.
would benefit. Yeah, very much so.
Okay.
Also, when someone sends you a message, they may say DM me, which means send me a direct message. So if, for example, you put an event up and they want to know more, but they want to know more privately perhaps, they'll say, would like to know more, DM me, which means please send me a private message that will tell me everything I need to know.
Direct message.
Yes, direct message, exactly. Do remember that you've only got, Twitter started from text, and the way it used to be uploaded was through a text message, so you've only got a 64 limit spaces, so do be cautious that you can't write an essay in there. Ideally use DM to swap emails, and then you can write a proper message to each other. Blogging is something completely different. This is fantastic, and we're trying to set it up at Huntingdon Rotaract as well. It's a great thing for starting up conversation about your club. A blog is like a diary, it's a diary input. I started mine in April last year. I started in April last year, and as of 2 days ago, I'd had 129,027 people read my blog, which is a huge amount. I don't write anything interesting, so really I don't know why people are reading it. But it's anything from something, I write someone restaurant reviews. If you go out to a restaurant and you really enjoy it, or you go out to a restaurant and you don't enjoy it, it's great to write a blog about that. It tells other people what they want to know. We went to Hartford Marina, it was horrendous. We told them it was horrendous and we got a voucher to say, sorry, really sorry it was horrendous. It's another way of complaining about things, also letting people know what you feel. I had a night with O2 a long time ago, and then they turned it round, they were fantastic at the end. They've actually written on my blog personally to say thank you very much for thanking us. So it does get out there.
So how do you do your blog then, Hazel?
A blog, you go to www.wordpress.com. That's my favourite site. There's a lot out there, but WordPress I think is the easiest one to use. Once again, statically details. This is where unfortunately my name hasn't helped me. On Twitter I wanted to be Hazel Cottrell, which is my name. But Hazel Cottrell has already been taken. So I've gone for Hazel L. Cottrell, because L is my middle name for Lorraine. So now my Facebook work account has had to follow Hazel L. Cottrell, and my blog has had to follow Hazel L. Cottrell. So everything now has to be the same. So make sure whatever name you choose, you stick with it all the way through. My downside is that everyone calls me Hazel with 2 L's. I've never had my name spelled properly since I've been on Twitter. So if there's something you can do it. Try not to put numbers in it, it does get confusing. Some people, if their name's taken, they put their date of birth at the end. It does confuse things, so try not to do that. Just find a way of using your name. Whether you use an underscore, which is the lower minus sign, or a minus sign, or a dot. Just try and separate your name somehow and make it different from others.
Is there a cost on these things, or are they all
No,
free?
completely free of charge. WordPress, you'll get a website, and you can choose your own layout for it. And it will be www.wordpress.com / and then whatever your blog is called, whatever your name is. I've only recently paid $15 and I've now got www.hazelcottrell.com. That's purely because I wanted to do that. You don't have to have it, and it's found exactly the same on any search engine, so it's not a necessity. So yeah, the blogging is really good for getting your thoughts out there. It's a good way you can use personal stories to let people know who you are, so they're then connected to your blogs. And also talk about what you do as well. So if you're organising an event, we did the Ladies' Night last July. We did a countdown to the event, saying what was going on, what had been organised, thanking the people that sponsored us. And you can do link backs, which is when you put, say for example, if Superdrug have given us a prize, I can then copy over Superdrug, and there's a place you can put a link on. It's all very clear on WordPress to show you how it's done. You can then link back to thank Superdrug, and it goes to their website. Therefore, because you're thanking them so publicly, they're going to give it to you again in the future. So it is all about, if someone helps you, just say thank you. Yes, very much so, yeah.
So how does that work exactly? You put
you write in your blog, Superdrug has given us a prize for the raffle. You then highlight Superdrug. There's a button to click on that looks like a world with a little chain next to it. You click on that, put their website in it, and when anyone goes on your website, it's in blue. They click on it, it goes back to their website.
Yes.
Yes.
So you help them out and then they work out things. Oh,
Exactly, yeah, the more you help. And I think it's important on Twitter as well, when someone retweets for you, do reply saying thank you for retweeting. Thank you for your support. Because it is good to thank people, because they will do it again for you. And chances are they'll retweet your thank you as well, so you're mentioned twice. I became quite well known on Twitter, just purely from chatting to people. Someone asked me what DM meant, so we did the WordPress release on, sorry, press release, I'm talking about work now. We did the blog post on what does DM mean. Lots and lots of people using that and telling other people about it. But sometimes you'll know something that nobody else knows. You'll think it's a really, really simple thing to know, but nobody else will know it. So do things like that as well. If you're looking at getting lots and lots of traffic to your website, talk about lots of popular TV programmes as well. Popular things that are going on. Talk about the Olympics, talk about The Apprentice, things like that. That's a good starting post to get people into your blog. Hopefully they'll stay on it and keep reading. I've only got 13 subscribers on my blog, but still I'm getting 400 views a day. So people are interested in what I'm saying. They don't want to know everything, but they're interesting every now and again. Most of my searches come through Google, so obviously I'm doing something right there. You have to be careful if I do blog posts for Wood Green Animal Shelter, and they do a dog blog. And I go along, meet a dog, and then I write a blog about them. Now if that goes out every Friday at 12 o'clock, which is what I've set it to do, because you can schedule it, my blog then comes up high because Google have noticed I'm doing the same thing at the same time every week. So example for Rotary, if you're doing the same thing at the same time, just release something at the same time and use a keyword, which is on the bottom right hand corner of the blog, as charity, then it will be released at that time. Google will see that you're a charity and you're doing something on Wednesday at 4 o'clock, and they will keep picking up on that, and it will take you up higher on the Google search. So do try and do things at a certain time, and it will pick up on it for you. It's also quite nice to have a rant. If it's something that's gone wrong, quite often, I live down the road here, and people go over the bollards, and it drives me insane. They don't wait, they don't say thank you, and I move to the side and let them past, and it drives me insane. I did have a rant about it on Twitter, on my blog, and then put it on Twitter. And it's quite nice to see what people think. Other people feel the same, and you feel great for letting the stress off your shoulders. But mainly, Twitter, Facebook, and WordPress, all used together, will work to help you. Any questions?
Which is the most used site?
Twitter.
Twitter.
Yes. On Twitter, if you write, let's think. Okay, we'll go back to the barn dance. If you did the barn dance at Rotary, you can then go to search, which is on the Twitter, and it's the top bar across the middle. If you put barn dance Huntingdon in there, it will tell you every single person that likes barn dance in Huntingdon, wants to go to a barn dance in Huntingdon, has ever been to a barn dance in Huntingdon. You can then, without following them, you can tweet to them. So you'll see their names drop down, and then you can say reply to. Put on there, just so you know, we've got an event going on this Friday, would you like to come? So that's why Twitter's used a lot. But it's also good because you're using that Facebook link again, it's putting you up on the Google search again. It does sound confusing, but I promise you it's not.
When you say invite people on Facebook, you can do it multiple people. On Twitter, if you want to go send this tweet to, can you do multiple people in one, or do you have to do it all individually?
You can, but only about 6 or 7. So it's how many fit into that, how many characters it is.
Oh, okay.
So that's the issue you've got there. And you can't send a direct message to more than one person.
Okay.
There's only so many characters you can fit in that.
Yes, that's the hardest bit about Twitter.
In a message.
Okay.
Anyone else? It's a lot to take on, I know.
I'm sure it's fine.
It will make complete sense. You've all got my Twitter in front of you. It's Hazel Cottrell. When you start up a Twitter account, send me a message and just say hi. And then I'll know that anything you need, you've got me directly there. I check it constantly. It's on my phone. I check it constantly. I've got my card actually.
So you can basically your Twitter name is Hazel Cottrell, but you've got your name.
Yes. Yeah, that's a very good point. If, for example, you're setting up... Sorry, what I was mentioning is on my top tweet, there's a photo of me, and then it says Hazel Cottrell, and then next to that it says Hazel L. Cottrell. Now the bit that says @Hazel L. Cottrell is my Twitter name. For example, if you're doing your Rotary one, your @ would say Huntingdon Rotary, and then when you sign up, you can choose your real name. You can put that down as your name. So then everyone knows that's who it's coming from. So So you could have, in your group, there are 10 of you that are from Huntingdon Rotary. You all use the same Twitter name of Huntingdon Rotary, and then as your name, you use your own. When you talk to people, they can talk back to you, but it's all coming from the same place. Yeah. I've got my card there, so you can all, if you've got any problems at all, do let me know.
Hazel, do you know that today is like Rotary International Twitter Day?
Exactly.
Really?
And do you know
So
what?
you
It's
have
not
chosen a
being
very good day.
it's not being very well advertised at all, and I think purely because we're not ready for it. And I think it's a shame because it's your age. Rotary is the age that you're looking to bring in is Twitter. There's a lot of groups out there. Roundtable are amazingly at the moment. They're all over the place. Rotary not so much. So definitely get out there and start.
But you're helping us,
thinking
Hazel.
about it. I'm doing my best, sis.
We are interested now.
Yeah, that's what we
Good.
How long do you spend a day on the blog and Facebook?
That's completely your choice. I do it as a living, so unfortunately I do it all day long. But it doesn't need to take that long at all. Companies, you have to be really cautious that you don't say, right, 9 o'clock till 9:30 I'm going on Twitter. Because what you do is you've talked to lots of people, you've sent lots of messages out there, and when they come back there'll be no reply. It's not like an email, this is constant, it's their immediate reaction. So you need to be, I would probably say do 10 minutes free time today. Just try and squeeze it in every now and again. If you want to spend longer, spend longer. That's just on Twitter and Facebook. It doesn't have to be done. You'll notice the more people talk to you, you might go on it more. The more people talk to you, you might go on it less. It's completely your choice. But if you try and set it up that you're on there, don't go on at the same time every day, but just literally pop on. When you're checking your emails, pop on there, see what's going on and talk to people. It's so important that you're social. Don't just sell to people.
You know on Facebook? You know on Facebook they've introduced those new Facebook emails? No, I don't have a clue about you, that's what I wanted to ask. Oh, okay. You know how they ask you to pick a name? And you could have an email at Facebook, and they swapped over your email contacts. So instead of having your email address, it now says whatever you've chosen at facebook.com, and that means that they can email you directly to Facebook. It comes up in a private message. But I don't know how to work
No, I've
it.
not seen that before.
Oh, okay, there we go. It's not just me then.
I should look into it and get back to you. But no, seriously, I've made it sound really complicated. I know I have. It's really, really easy. If you go onto my blog, you can see I've actually written down most of what I said today. So if anything you don't understand, you can watch it again. Sarah's very kindly filmed it, so I'm sure I look horrible and fat. But you can all look at that as well. You can all see how awful I look. But no, it's really, really simple. Anything you need to know is on there, and do ask. I don't mind, I promise. It's not just something I do for a living. I do really enjoy it as well. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you, Sarah, for organising it. This is her first event she's ever organised. She's done an amazing job.